Force Tarot. I am here with your monthly reading for the month of September 2018. Before we get started, I do just want to go ahead and apologize to you guys, the rest of the earth signs as well as the air signs who may be watching these videos, cross-watching, for taking so much longer to get your videos out relative to the fire and water signs. But things have been pretty chaotic over here on my end, so I've just now gotten time to film and start putting these videos together for you guys. Additionally, I do want to go ahead and mention that I am filming these videos in the month of August, and I have monthly readings for August as well as mid-month updates for the month of August. And those are already out for all of the signs. So if you're watching this in these last couple of days of August, I would definitely recommend going back and checking out those videos for the month of August, even though we are moving into September, just because a lot of those energies are going to be carrying through throughout the month of September, and also even probably till the end of the year for a lot of people, just because there are so many major shifts and changes going on. So you might be able to get some more insider information on your particular situation by going back. Additionally, watching your moon sign and rising sign videos for the August readings, and also watching your moon and rising sign videos for the September monthly readings, especially in the event that this particular reading doesn't apply to you. Your other signs might apply a little bit more and fit your situation a bit better. So we'll go ahead and get started with your reading. It's a bit of an interesting reading, so we'll start off with your central issue for the month of September, which is the Page of Swords in the upright. I do kind of like seeing this card because to me it's a little bit like the Ace of Swords in that you are kind of in that beginning stage of something new, some sort of new endeavor or venture. Possibly even something regarding communication. Maybe you've just started talking to somebody, maybe in terms of a job. You've put out some applications, just something where you're in kind of those initial stages. And I think that it also, because it is a sword suit and it does represent things going on kind of in your own head, like on a mental level, I do see it as being kind of like the beginning of clarity for a lot of you guys. So I can also be a person. I don't normally see the pages as people, but I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. If it is a person, they will most likely be younger to you, and would most likely be an air sign, sun, moon, or rising, male or female. And the air signs are Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini for your reference. But like I said, because this is a central issue, I don't really think this is revolving around another person in your life. It might be, maybe if you have kids or whatever. But for the most part, I think that this is going to be kind of like the energy that's going to be carrying you guys throughout the month of September. So, I do kind of like that energy. It's something new. It's in the upright. It's positive. So there may be some communications going on, contracts getting signed. If you're involved in anything legally, that may be beginning to start. If you're in a court case or whatever, you might be going to trial or just doing the initial stages of something. So, that is positive energy. And with that being central to your reading, it's like there's definitely some progress being made, which is good. And when I go back to your distant past, you guys have the Seven of Pentacles in the upright. And this card is all about, the sevens are all about making choices, making decisions. And this is kind of like, well, you've sown the seeds, things have germinated, things have grown, and now you're just kind of waiting for the opportunity to harvest them. In the traditional depiction of this card in the Rider-Waite Tarot, there's 6 of the pentacles kind of on like a little bush, and then 1 pentacle that's off to the other side. While that isn't the depiction in this particular card, they are all on the tree. That the traditional depiction to me says you might be deciding between sticking with something that you've invested a lot of time in, or taking a risk and going off and doing something new. And I think that for a lot of you guys, that message is going to apply, just because I do see that we have an ace here moving forward for you guys in the month of September. So you guys may have in the distant past been kind of weighing up your options and deciding whether or not you want to continue down the path that you've been on, or if you want to go ahead and take a risk and kind of do something new. For those of you who have been debating that sort of decision, I think the path that you've been on for a while is something that really hasn't been very emotionally fulfilling. Maybe it's something that you were just doing kind of for the short term, and you just don't feel like there's any more advancement. Maybe you're not feeling like you're getting recognized, whatever the case may be. A lot of you guys are really contemplating getting involved in something new. And in your recent past, you guys have the Knight of Cups in the upright. This can be a person. They would most likely be around your age. And they could be a water sign, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. And the water signs, for your reference, are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So I don't really read the Knights as people either most of the time. The Knights to me are all kind of about energies. And with the Knight of Cups being here in the upright, it says to me that maybe you guys, you were contemplating something in that Seven of Pentacles, and then you get a sudden burst of inspiration. Something comes into you. Something, like that light bulb in your head kind of flicks on, and now you have more of an idea about what you want to do. Maybe you've actually made a decision. You could be the Knight of Cups, and you could be delivering news of your decision to somebody else. You could be making an offer to somebody, in terms of like a relationship. Maybe you were contemplating about whether or not you wanted to ask somebody to be your boyfriend or girlfriend, and then you decided, hey, I'm just gonna go for it, and you made that offer to them. Same thing for a job. Maybe you guys decided you're tired of waiting, so you're gonna go ahead and put some feelers out there, reach out to some people, apply for some positions, So to me, it's like an action card. And the cups aren't necessarily the fastest suit. They're probably like the second slowest, just behind the pentacles there. So some of you guys may still be kind of in the process of going forward, even though this is a card in your recent past position, just because the energy is a little bit slower than you would see with a Wands card or a Swords card. So that is something to keep in mind. For others of you, this could be something that's coming to you. So maybe somebody has come to you with an offering. But for a lot of you guys, I really do just think it's going to be kind of that burst of inspiration. Like you've kind of finally figured it out. Maybe you've had the realization that the path that you've been on for a while isn't fulfilling to you on an emotional level, that you have the potential to do a lot more than you currently are doing. And you're kind of starting to take those initial steps to move forward, because from the Knight of Cups, we do move into that Page of Swords energy, which, being a page, is all about those incipient initial steps. So, looking back at your past, there does definitely seem to be some positive forward progress for a lot of you guys. We may not be at the very end of that yet, but starting to take some steps that you need to do to kind of get to where you want to be. So the cards that are above your central issue are cards that I always see as being things that are external to you. So they could be things that are being done to you by somebody else, things that somebody else in your life is going through, maybe energies or things being brought into you by the universe or spirit or whatever you believe in. Generally speaking, they're just things that you have a bit less control over, or they may just be things that are going on in your head. So for most of you guys, I do think that this is going to be something that is going on within you. At the very top of your spread, you guys have the Knight of Cups in reverse, which is why I've been talking about this whole concept of being emotionally unfulfilled. In the upright, the guy with the Nine of Cups, he's happy, he's almost boastful. He's kind of got everything that he could want. This card's kind of about wish fulfillment on a small level, whereas the Star card in the Major Arcana would be like bigger wish fulfillment. But just kind of getting what you want and being happy with what you have, not necessarily completely emotionally content, because you aren't at that 10 yet, you aren't at the 10 of Cups, but just being in a state of satisfaction and contentment. With this being in the reverse and this being above you, I think a lot of you guys aren't in that kind of state. I think that a lot of you guys may be struggling on an emotional level to find something or someone or a job or whatever that brings you emotional fulfillment. And as a result, you're kind of just stuck. And, you're ruminating on all of these emotions, or should I say the lack thereof, of that fulfillment. And some of you guys may be stuck in that state of contemplation and not moving forward as quickly as you need to be or in the way that you need to be. Because beneath the Nine of Cups in reverse, you guys have the Queen of Cups in reverse. This can be another person, male or female. They would likely be a water sign, sun, moon, or rising. Again, the water signs are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. If this is a person that you're dealing with, they may be somebody who's a bit of an emotional manipulator. They kind of know how to play on people's feelings. I don't really like seeing any of the court cards in the reverse, especially the kings and the queens, because they are kind of the masters of their craft. When they show up in the reverse, it says to me that they're usually very good about being manipulative in terms of whatever their particular suit pertains to. And the cups are all about emotions. So this may be somebody who's manipulative on an emotional level. They may be prone to emotional outbursts, don't really have things under control. And so if this is somebody that's influencing you, I would highly recommend getting rid of them or moving away from them, because they just aren't going to bring you the kind of success that you're looking for. When I clarify them, they connect to the Strength card in reverse, which is like almost like they suck the energy out of you. They're like an emotional vampire. And they also connect to the Six of Wands in reverse, which says to me that they're kind of holding you back and dragging you down and preventing you from having the level of success and recognition and acclaim that you are hoping to have in life. But for others of you, this may just be a manifestation of your own energy because it is above you. It could be kind of what you're going through mentally. Maybe you are emotionally drained. Maybe it's just another way of kind of the cards showing that emotional dissatisfaction that is echoed in the Nine of Cups in reverse. But overall, emotionally things are out of whack for you guys, whether that is for you guys personally, or if you're dealing with somebody who, like I said, is that kind of emotionally manipulative Queen of Cups reversed character. So I'm not really fond of that energy, but ultimately it's going to come down to what you decide to do moving forward. So the cards that are beneath your central issue are things that I see as being foundational energy. So this is usually stuff that you already know. It may have been going on for a long time now, months or even years in your past. So it's nothing surprising to anybody. And if that's not the case, then it's something that is going to be more within your realm of control. And for a lot of you guys, I do think that this is going to be a reminder from the universe or spirit, whatever you believe in, that you kind of control your own destiny. The reason why I say that is because right beneath your central issue, we have the Strength card in reverse. This could be Leo, so the sign of Leo may be important to you. But mostly, this is going to probably be related to your own fortitude. When you connect these cards up, this one goes back to the Seven of Pentacles. And so it says to me, like, some of you guys may have been waiting for a really, really long time to do something or to make a change, to make a move. And some of you guys are still waiting. Like, there's almost an inherent fear to pull the trigger and do something. I don't know if it's because you're just scared that it's not going to work out, that if you do go off in another direction, it's not going to be fulfilling for you. And maybe some of you guys are just scared of taking that risk to move forward and do something new. So do keep in mind that this is within your control, kind of controlling your own mental state and your own emotions. That's within, your ability to affect and to change. So the goal for you guys is going to be to kind of flip this Strength card in the upright, whatever that means for you. Whether that means taking a chance on something new that's going to make you happier, whether that means leaving behind somebody or something who's toxic, that's going to play out differently for a lot of you guys. But it's kind of like basically telling you to grow a pair and to actually do something. And some of you guys, because that central issue is the Page of Swords and it's in the upright, you're kind of taking those incipient and initial stages to do something, which is good. Just make sure that for others of you who may be struggling, that you don't stay stuck, because all you're going to do is wind up missing out on opportunities that come your way. Now, beneath the Strength card in reverse, you guys have the Sun card in reverse. Even though the card is in reverse, the Sun card is arguably the most positive card in the tarot deck. So even though it's showing up in reverse, don't let that discourage you. It just says to me again that there may be some people who are kind of self-restricting from pursuing something that's going to bring them happiness. Taking the initiative to kind of pull the trigger and to do something new or to go off in a new direction, or basically live in a way that you're honoring your true self, is going to allow this Sun card to flip into the upright. Another thing is that you may just be experiencing delays when it comes to something that's going to make you happy or bring you success, because we do have this wheel here, which is a bit akin to the Wheel of Fortune. So things may just be taking a time to manifest, and maybe that's making it difficult for you to stay strong because things may not be moving forward as quickly as you have been hoping them to. And that can be kind of draining, especially on an emotional level, when you're trying to make changes, but things just really aren't going your way as quickly as you would want them to. But overall, these two cards being beneath your central issue say to me that your happiness, that is something that you control. You know, your willingness to be brave, to be courageous, to be strong in the face of adversity, in the face of risk, or in the face of change, that is within your control. Finding your inner strength is going to allow you to become happier, more content, more stable. Insert positive emotion here. It's going to allow you to do kind of all of the above and just really improve yourselves in a way that I think is going to be really positive for you guys moving forward. Additionally, I do just want to throw out there, this might apply to a very small group of people, but the Strength card in reverse and the Sun card in reverse may be dealing with some sort of illness, maybe just not being 100% in terms of your health. It doesn't seem to be anything dire, but especially when it comes to your energy levels, maybe just feeling a little bit depleted or overwhelmed or exhausted. And if that applies to you, maybe look into what you can do to improve your energy, whether that be getting more sleep at night if you aren't doing that, exercising more because exercise helps improve your energy, changing your diet, whatever you need to do to get yourselves into a healthier state, maybe consulting a doctor to figure that out. I think it's going to apply to a very small group of people, but those two cards together can also indicate some sort of health issues, especially related to your energy. So I do just want to throw that out there in case that applies to anybody. So moving forward into the near future, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Now, kind of like the Sun in reverse, just because this card shows up in the reverse doesn't mean that it's something negative. The aces, when they show up in the reverse, says to me that there's something that's blocked. You have a new beginning on offer, but it's just not able to manifest for some particular reason. So when I connect this card up, you know, we have this Knight of Cups that it relates to. So I do think that maybe there's been some sort of offer made, some sort of decision, some sort of insight, but actually physically acting on that in the real world, that hasn't happened yet. The Wands are a very physical suit. They're a very creative suit, a very passionate suit. It's all about motivation and drive. And with this card being in the reverse, it says to me that, you know, something just may not have manifested physically yet. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We just have to figure out what's holding things up. Is it something that's within our realm of control to change? For instance, like I said before, are you just too scared to pull the trigger on something and that's preventing you from seizing this new beginning? Or is it something that you can't really, you know, control? Maybe with this Page of Swords here, it could be some paperwork, some legalities that have to get straightened out before you are able to flip this card into the upright and to capitalize on this new beginning. So that's going to apply to all of you guys differently. It's just going to be a matter of figuring out again, you know, you have something new coming in, but what's the holdup? What's holding you back from being able to capitalize on this new beginning and move forward in a new direction? Is it things that are external to you that you can't change? Or is it something that's internal, you know, be it fear or just a lack of motivation, procrastination, whatever it may be? Figuring out what that issue is so that you can go ahead and flip that ace into the upright and move forward. Likewise, toward the end of the month, you guys have the Six of Wands in reverse. Now, this card can be about failures and getting no'd, you know, getting denied, just a lot of real negative things, not having support around you. And for some people, you know, hey, that may be the case. Maybe you go ahead and you've made some sort of decision to pursue something and it just doesn't pan out. That happens sometimes. So, you know, for some people that's going to happen. For other people, it's just going to be a situation where, again, you have to flip that Ace of Wands into the upright, figure out what's holding you back, and then once you do that, you're going to be kind of on top of the world and able to move forward in a way that's going to bring you a lot of success, a lot of happiness, and to move forward with a lot of support from other people. So it's just going to depend on your particular situation. You know, for some people, you're going to take a risk and you're going to fall short, and that's okay. The key thing is that even if you take that risk, that you've put yourselves out there, that you have been brave, that you have been strong. And if you end up defeated in the end, you know, sometimes we have to lose or be told no or be rejected in order to find our own inner strength, to remember how strong we really are, and to know what we can rise from moving forward. For others of you, like I said, again, it's just going to be about finding the motivation, finding the passion, finding the drive, finding that creative force or that inspiration so that you can move forward on a new path and find success. Ultimately, the key is going to be trying to pursue that which you feel is going to bring you the most happiness and the most contentment and allow you to honor yourself. Real quickly, the card that you guys got as being the overall energy for your spread from the bottom of the deck is the Hierophant in reverse. So I see this as manifesting two ways for people. For some of you guys, it's going to be the need to find some sort of spiritual guidance. Maybe you guys are waiting for some sort of message, waiting for some sort of sign. And, you know, with this Knight of Cups energy in your recent past, some of you may have gotten something. Some of you guys may not have. And for those of you who are waiting for a sign, you may have to just kind of do something on your own instead of waiting for somebody else to bring you that enlightenment that you're looking for and help guide you in the right direction. Sometimes we just have to go ahead and, you know, take that leap of faith and move forward on our own. For others of you, because the Hierophant is all about traditions and hierarchies and doing things kind of by the book, some of you guys may need to consider a more non-traditional approach, whatever that means for you. For instance, say you guys have been trying to date for a while and nothing's worked out. You know, you've gone to singles events and mixers or whatever, and just nothing pans out. You've had friends try to hook you up with their friends, nothing works. Maybe, you know, you've said your entire life, I will never do online dating. I'm never going to do it, never going to do it. Well, maybe you have to break out of that mindset and do that thing that traditionally you told yourself you wouldn't do in order to find the success you're looking for. Likewise, when it comes to jobs, maybe your entire lives, the careers that you've been working have been pertaining to a particular field. You know, this is what's traditional for you. Maybe it's traditional for your family. Maybe you've been working in a job where there's a defined hierarchy, like an organizational structure. And maybe in order to find the happiness and the success you're looking for, you need to do something a little bit more non-traditional, whether that be working for a small business, working as an entrepreneur, whatever that may be for you. You guys are going to have more of an idea of how that'll apply than I would. So, real quickly, I have some oracle cards here to help give me a little bit more information about the energies that you guys have been dealing with in the past and that you're going to carry with you moving forward. The first card that you guys have is your past energy, and that is the Be or Potential. So I really like seeing this card because this is a reminder from the universe that, you know, there is potential here. You do have opportunities available for you to you. It's just a matter of finding that drive within and capitalizing on those opportunities that are coming in. You know, you have a lot of changes coming through, and you know, it's really great for progress and forward movement. So I really like seeing this card being in your past. It's just about how do we carry that energy moving forward? How do we seize that potential moving forward? And that's going to be your challenge, you know, moving on throughout the month, really capitalizing on this. The B does also pertain to teamwork and support. Bees work in hives. Everybody serves a critical function in order to, you know, keep the hive going and keep operations normal. If you've been trying to do something on your own for a long time, maybe you need to look to outside help. Maybe you need to get your group of friends or your family or do some networking. Whatever it takes for you to find people to kind of help you moving along and moving forward, because, you know, you do have that Six of Wands in reverse, and that can show to me potentially a lack of support. So if you do kind of surround yourselves with a very strong support circle, then you're going to be able to withstand whatever comes your way, be it positive or negative. And the card that you guys have for your future energy is the Giraffe or Intersection. And this card shows up as a very spiritual card. It's kind of about, because the giraffes have such tall, and long necks, and they can reach all these heights, that it's about figuring out which stage of consciousness you're operating in, or whatever the particular meaning of this card is in a really spiritual context. But just generally speaking, I think that it can pertain to you guys in the sense that you really need to kind of look at your life from all angles. Don't just get stuck in one single mindset. Intersection, bringing things together. If you're constantly kind of stuck in your head, maybe incorporating your thoughts with something in the physical world. Not just fantasizing about something, but actually doing something. When you bring these various aspects of yourself and of your life together, and to kind of put them all together and make all the pieces of the puzzle fit together, that's just going to allow you to move forward, because things aren't going to be as disjointed or as chaotic, and that'll help you to figure out how you need to proceed, because you're going to be able to incorporate your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams with your physical reality, whether that's something regarding romance or your finances, or whether or not you want to make a physical move, whatever it is. Just making sure that you don't get stuck or so focused on one aspect of your life that you ignore these other aspects that can help give you guidance, and also bring you clarity. So overall, your message for this month is to kind of find that clarity and to figure out what makes you happy, and from that point, act accordingly. Because if you don't act on what makes you happy and you just kind of stay stuck, then you're never going to move forward. You're just going to be miserable, and there's no real way to have any sort of progress or growth. So September is going to kind of play out depending on how you guys react to your particular situation, and whether or not you can pull yourselves out of any sort of negative emotional or mental state to allow yourselves to move forward in the physical realm. So, overall not a negative reading. It's just a little bit of a weird reading in terms of the energy. So I do hope that this resonated for some of you guys. If it did, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. If you liked the video, I would definitely appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate all of you guys who have already done so, who have watched my previous videos, who have given thumbs up, left encouraging comments, and who have also subscribed to the channel. So thank you to all of you guys for doing that, and thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you all in a couple of weeks with your mid-month update.